look, I swear I'm get into gaming news. Like I'm not that much of a trend chaser. Half the time I'm tardy to the party in all these situations. But look, right, I'm gonna talk about the things I'm interested in, and this is definitely one of those things that, you know, from the outsider's perspective, not knowing anything about this just looks crazy. Like, you know, you're not looking at it through ideology, you're not looking at it through any party affiliation. You just see some white dude coming out of nowhere and a lawyer and calling out legitimate fraud. Again, and I'm not there on the ground, right? I'm not, you know, up this boy's ass looking over him, but see, you look at systems, and this is why I believe there are fraud happening in all 50 fucking states, right? And they may happen in different ways by different people. On this fucking fan's on because I'm burning up. It may happen in different by different political affiliations, but it's still fraud. It's still scamming. And what he's doing, right? What Nick Shirley's doing is pointing out a just one specific case of fraud. And again, this isn't a court of justice. Like, this is a court of public opinion. What people want is an investigation. Like, this is what the people are asking for, right? And from the investigation, at least from what I'm seeing, it's like either there was rampant incompetence that allowed this to happen, or this is something being purposely funded. And how you figure this out is how the people act, how Mike Pence is acting, right? He's not acting like, oh, well, I mean, this is just something that slipped under the radar, you know? He's not taking any form of responsibility. I mean, he did step the fuck down, but he didn't take any, but what he's doing is he's shoving it off on Trump and on right-wingers and on this. Like, that's clearly the actions of someone who is guilty. They know they're guilty, but they'll never admit it, right? And the way again, and God forbid I'm sexist towards men, but if I walk into a daycare and I just see a bunch of old and middle-aged dudes and I want to assign my child, I'm a kind of look a bit side-eyed, right? Because I am a very sexist person, right? Well, when we were in daycare, they're like, yeah, just play in the fucking street, but it's always just women. Okay, maybe there's one dude in an administrative position, maybe one dude in like a maintenance position, but it is just women teaching kids, and this is a human nature thing, right? I see these guys, and again, the way they're acting towards him for just asking the question, right? He's like, where's this money coming from? And they're just being actively aggressive towards him. He's like, I don't care what people say, right? Because people say whatever the fuck they want. I don't give a shit. I care how people act. And from my standpoint, I 100% believe this is something that is happening. And again, to the extent, I mean, what was the last video? Like, millions, tens of millions of dollars. I don't think that's true. I think it's probably around a couple hundred millions. Like, this is the fraud we can actively point out as we see it. God forbid knows how deep it goes and how much more money is exchanging hands. So let's give us a watch.
I'm asking No. You don't ask me nothing, man. $2.25 million. Get out.
Are we the only community that does fraud?
How come they said this building was closed?
Do you guys know where advanced mobility is?
Advanced mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
The Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse as billions of dollars of fraud has been exposed, and as I showed the world the blatant fraud.
I think it's something that's still happening right now as we speak. Like, this is, what, the past 4 years? Money's being allocated from people like him and like him who work for a living to these fraudsters as we speak. You know, as Mike Pence is stepping down, right? Like, just because he's gone, that doesn't stop the apparatus. It's still happening. And again, what people want is a response, because some dude pointing this out is, he got, like, if I will say that Elon Musk buying Twitter or X now is a good thing for free speech. This first video got millions of views. If Elon Musk didn't buy Twitter, it would have just gotten banned. And it's not the fact that you disagree or anything. Someone will decide for you that it's not allowed for your own good. And you know it would happen. I know it would happen. But you can't really point this out because, conspiracy theorists. And it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, how many conspiracy theories ended up being maybe not 100% factual, but within reasonable suspicion? Like, it is within reasonable suspicion that sites like YouTube suppress, like, situations like these that you're pointing out. You know, like what's happening in Iran. Like, I 100% believe that's something that is happening.
Taking place at daycares and other locations across Minnesota, it became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota, and the HHS froze over $185 million in all payments to childcare. And while politicians like Tim Walz call people like me white supremacist and far-right delusional conspiracy theorists for exposing the fraud, meanwhile, he actually dropped out of running for re-election. The Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Learning Center were exposed. However, the daycare...
Yeah, and again, it's also one of these things, and again, I think Trump also said he froze funding to sanctuary cities, and he froze money to child care. And again, people like to use emotional language in these things and be like, oh, how are we going to teach our children in the fucking Learning Center? And it's like, man, I don't know. How the fuck does the Amish do it? Right? How do they teach their kids? How does every other nation on planet Earth, do they have an apparatus, of liberal white women that does this? No? Well, then I guess they must be stupid, right? I guess if you don't have these massive apparatuses that only exist to suck money, you're incapable of doing it, right? Obviously, I'm bullshitting here. And again, you have things like the internet. I think the for all the bad that the internet is, there's also a lot of good that comes with it. I didn't know a single fucking thing about making a video game, but I'm doing that. And that's not what I went to school for. It's always the people that think they're the smartest in the room and they know something and will call you stupid that just don't understand. But that's one point. Another point is, what's happening in Minnesota is sparked by literally just one fucking dude. So this tells me that this is something that's been bubbling up for a while, and something that, but it's just been actively suppressed. But now they can't do that. And also people boycotting federal agents doing their fucking job. Like, they're defending criminals and fraudsters. You know, criminals that have been arrested like multiple times, but because they're from another country, they're just let go because a lawyer just decides it. Again, a lawyer that, I mean, who knows, maybe they're getting bribed or maybe they have an ideology. And this is what people want to stop.
Cares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota. In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all of the dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections of the business owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this widespread fraud scandal for years. So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud, and you even have more fraud. What's some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of Minnesota?
Well, what I think might be sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT. My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such companies in Minnesota, and more than 90% of them are Somali owned.
And so right here on the table, what do we have? All this information right here.
So I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company. A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment, some are in a house, some are in a convenience store.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of LLCs that just sprung up out of nowhere. And I do believe, yeah, you have one type of fraud and then it's connected to another type of fraud. Like you have a transportation company, fraudsters working with the daycare fraudsters, you know, working hand in hand with other type, like it is a web. And again, you gotta also understand this is a system that exists to be taken advantage of, right? And if it's happened 1 year and it happened 2 years and it happened for 3 years, obviously they're just going to keep doing it. And unfortunately, it does take someone like Nick Shirley and like this lawyer to point it out, because up until now no one else has. Like, there's probably other investigations, but they're probably smothered out. But with the internet, you know, and I legitimately believe the internet's infrastructure, if you try to control it, I will assume you want to control people and how they act. Like, there is bad that comes with the internet, but there's also good. You know, it's a force of nature at this point. Right, and forces like these are good forces. Like, make no mistake, they're doing a good thing by pointing out legitimate fraudsters, but people like to care for the optics of the situation more than what's actually happening.
Some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage, there's nobody there.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside of Minnesota?
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel, so child care is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism is a spoke, the interpreter services, which we can get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation. Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals, someone has to deliver the kid to autism, or say they did. So it all revolves around the transportation. And so when you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just be conservative. Let's go on the low side. Let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota. Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company. So that's 800 times 20. And the way these NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going, because remember, it's non-emergency medical transportation. Well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die. So that's considered, right? So it's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips. But I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trip. So that's $100 per round trip. So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies, they all own 20 vehicles, and they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip. So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips times $50 a trip. Do the math. And the reality...
Yeah, and then that's just for the physical transportation, the one person doing the trip, right? Like having that workload a day, right? That's just that instance of $8 million a day being thrown out. God knows the maintenance of the vehicles, the maintenance of the buildings, whatever other federal funding coming down. Like, this is because there was no investigation on if this was actually happening. I 100% believe, and now that there is, people are flipping the fuck out, you know, because this apparatus, like, you don't really know how much, like, understand how much emotional manipulation has gone into this, to where it's people's entire worldview that, oh no, they're just racist, and the people that they're pointing out, okay, maybe there's some fraud, but they're just being racist against Somalians. Like, how much emotional manipulation individuals must have gone through to protect criminals and to protect, you know, murderers, and to have sanctuary cities. Like, it's something that you try to wrap your head around it. And at first you're like, oh no, they're just naive. Oh no, they're just this, that, and the other. It's like, no, there's people whose entire worldview is centered around this, and they don't want to admit they're wrong, right? There's a lot of manipulation going about, to where, yeah, they will legitimately just defend criminals because they're working there. Like, again, to them, it's logic is kind of an odd way to put it, but there is a level of emotional logic that goes along with it.
Is how many of these trips are being provided? 0. They don't have to provide any. Why? Because when they are paid by the state of Minnesota, these companies go online and they fill out a form, and it just says, okay, how many trips, how many miles. They submit that electronically to the state, and boom, they get paid. Nobody bothers to check. They don't call the dentist. Did this kid show up? They don't do anything. As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
And so essentially, these transportation companies are what hold all of the fraud together, because you have the daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the adult daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the healthcare companies working with the transportation companies. So it's just another way to bill and to also make it look like something's happening here inside of Minnesota.
This is the belly of the beast. All of this fraud revolves around these transportation companies. All of it. This touches every part of fraud here in Minnesota.
And today we're going to go confront these people. We confronted them last time. There was no kids in any of the child care centers. And today, what do you expect to see?
I think we're going to see some vehicles because, you know, when I drive around the cities here, I see these Somalis driving. And mostly it's like a Plymouth Caravan or whatever. And there's never, ever, ever been a passenger. And in 7 years, I've never seen a passenger in any of these vehicles. I've followed some of them. They're going to Costco, they're going to Sam's Club, they're going to Walmart. The driver gets out, goes in there, loads up a shopping cart, comes in, puts it in the van, and off they go back to where they live.
And now we're going to go out and see what's happening with these transportation companies.
And here's the other thing. Tim Walz and the Department of Human Service, you threw the people of Minnesota under the bus. Shame on you, and I'm coming for you.
Yeah, and that's 100. Like, this is just 100% a reasonable thing to think, because Tim Walz is a retarded, old, balding boomer who has one foot in the grave. He doesn't have to live with the consequences of his emotional fucking systems that don't actually benefit the people. In fact, they're taxing the people even more. Like, you gotta understand this, the scam. Like, people's taxpayer money without their consent or without their knowing. And if it happens without my knowing, it happens without my consent. I don't care what the fuck the situation is. And is going to pay these people. To be fair, there's also a lot of federal funding, so they're taking money that's literally from the government. But it's like that. The government doesn't produce wealth. It takes from people that work for a living, and it gives it to these scams. And this is something that's fair to think, and I think Nick Shirley's doing a good thing. And I don't care for the optics of it. Like, I 100% believe there are legitimate Somali business owners, like we've seen some in that Oliveira video. Like, there are legitimate businesses in the communities that are upheld by the community. But unfortunately, there's a bit of fraud. And that fraud's costing millions of dollars.
You heard it here first, David. All right, let's go. So where's the first location we're going to?
The first location is a company called Safari Transportation, Cedar Avenue South in Minneapolis.
LLC.
And so what makes Safari Transportation Company an interesting transportation company?
Well,
Allegedly fraudulent.
Well, the thing about Safari is that they've been registered since 2015 with the state of Minnesota as operating vehicles. And again, the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles. So if they've got 20 vehicles and they're at 607 Cedar Avenue, I have no idea where there's parking them because there is no parking anywhere near this office.
We've arrived.
And again, you also gotta understand, it is so easy to disprove these things. Like, for my company, I can give proof. I can give receipts. I can give, work in progress for the art. I can give the PSD files, just so you know it's not AI. Like, things like these is easy to prove if it's legitimate. If it's not legitimate, and again, based off the reaction, you can tell it's not. Based off what he's saying, what we're probably about to see, what Nick Shirley is pointing out, and what the money and all that, and how the people react. Like, it does seem fraudulent.
I have the transportation company. We're outside, and right there we have a Loving Arms adult daycare. All the windows are completely boarded out right there, and there's supposed to be a transportation company registered right here. It's 617, but it's a liquor store. Right, so the location here is 607 and also 617. These are two transportation companies. We're on a main road right now, and this is 607, and it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here, 607. This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring. But if you look at the Secretary of State's office, state of Minnesota, Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue, and it's been registered here since 2015. That was the original filing.
So let's see if we have the manager. Let's see if we can find FOD. Hello. How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation?
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari Transportation,
Please,
607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
That's the
607.
address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Did you
Okay,
know
so the
Fuad
business is
Omar?
not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar?
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
Money transferring.
That's it.
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for
Go
Safari
find out.
Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of
We don't know
Minnesota.
2015 one. Oh yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website
I said
today.
you don't
Sir.
know, please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuade Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent
Did you-
business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go to the next
Okay.
address.
See?
All right, let's keep moving on. So 607.
I mean, to be fair, they pointed out, no, it's not here. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, you know. It's easy when the fraudsters just straight up tell you it's fraud. And I don't know if they're just working there or if they're being told not to talk to anyone with a camera. But, I mean, just based off the reaction and based off what it says, clearly there's fraud happening.
This is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company, and now we're going to 617, another.
And also, you're a company, right? I mean, the point is to do business, but you know, to promote yourself, like that's what I do. I promote my business. Like, why have a business that's never okay? To be fair, it's probably business to business, but there's some level of representative or representation that has to go on there. But what we see are just people screeching at him. Is that the representation? Like, we've seen this with the learning center fraud. Like, they don't let him in. They don't let him check out the facilities. They're boarded up. It's like, you know, there's a level of human intuition that you have to, you know, you gotta work down the process to be like, okay, maybe there is fraud. Maybe there is a large amount of fraud that's happening. And he's doing everything the journalist should be doing. Like, just some dude. But people are attacking him. And again, you gotta understand, there is an apparatus of emotional manipulation that has happened to where people will deny things they see with their own eyes. They won't even try to interact with it. They'll just throw a label and just be fine with it.
Transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Dreamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these
Yeah.
are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
I mean, and again, you can, oh, well, their offices there, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, you know, if you're registered as an LLC to be there, it's probably just one dude that registered in a building. He's probably sitting in the back of the building. And, you know, he has a computer. He's doing all the paperwork, but you just don't see it.
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
What's that?
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation.
No.
Where is the transportation company?
No, we don't have this.
You ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari? I know Safari, that money wiring, 607.
The money wiring.
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring.
Yeah.
Safari
We're looking for
Transportation?
Safari
Maybe there.
Transportation.
607.
They said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari company, the money wiring, they send money there. That's the 607.
So Safari gets the money and then they wire it out.
Yeah, the money.
That man just said that Safari is actually a money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere underneath the name of a transportation
So
company.
they said to go here.
Suite A right here. And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax. I do not see a transportation company anywhere.
Morning. Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it?
I've never heard of it.
Ask next door.
He said to ask here.
Oh,
But you would know.
That's next to it. This is a mailbox. It's not a work car.
So, Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox. 834.
So it could be one of these mailboxes. Well,
Okay, see you later.
607 Safari Transportation doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business. 617 Dreamline, inside of there, it's actually a liquor store. And then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes and it says reliable ITT services.
You also gotta understand, these are probably once legitimate businesses that were shut down over COVID. You know, these are probably just empty buildings and lots that just been bought out. And it's just given to these LLCs that don't exist. You know, prime real estate right here, given to fraudsters.
How you doing, man?
I just want to ask you,
Yes, sir.
why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we
to-
sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're
Are
not
you-
attacking your
are you-
community by any means.
Are you making
We're
good money
looking-
from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No, I'm
For
not.
instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607?
second.
It's not there.
How
And why
much-
don't you answer?
How much money are
Why don't
you?
you answer the
how much
question?
money
Where's
are you
617 Dreamline Security?
How much money are you making?
I make money off
this?
of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing
That my job
and attacking
is.
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the
fraud is
reason why
fraud,
this is
sir.
happening. All right. Let me
David,
tell you the reason why
fraud
you're
is
attacking
fraud,
this.
correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This
is fraud.
absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, you don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying
No,
that.
no, no, no.
We're not
Because
saying
when,
that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're talking.
when I go onto your comments,
My comments
what
aren't
I see
me.
is people that say we do not want Muslims here.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? It's the internet. Have you not been on the fucking internet? Yeah, you're gonna have people with stupid fucking opinions, with unreasonable opinions. That's just the way that's just the way it is. Right? But as a human being, right, with a fully functioning frontal cortex, you separate that from the legitimate things being done. I mean, and again, you gotta also understand, like, if he did this in like 2020, right, 2021, he would have just gotten banned for pointing out, again, something that isn't, you know, a court of justice. It's just public opinion. People want these fraudsters to quit taking their goddamn money, and then it has got to this point because it was allowed. Like, someone wanted this to happen.
Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are listen.
That's not what I'm saying.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like
How?
the Japanese community.
How?
All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the
listen.
question. Where-
That's something
where
that can,
is the transportation
something
vehicle
that can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the question.
the safety and the protection of
This
the
is
Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking
if
about fraud,
anything
sir.
happens to the Somali
We're talking
community,
about
listen,
fraud.
I'm not doing anything. I'm
I
not
know,
physically touching
you're
you.
getting very close.
I'm not physically
You're
touching
very
you.
close.
No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What
We're talking
you're
about
doing,
fraud.
what you're
You're
doing,
you're
what
defending
doing,
fraud.
when
You're
I go
defending
into
fraud.
your comments,
You're defending fraud.
people who hate Muslims
Okay,
want
people
us
can-
out of here
people can say
for
what they
being
want. I'm not
Muslim,
censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material.
Yeah. Like, that's not surprising. Yes. Yeah. People who are racist are going to jump on anyone who's talking about something like this and change it in however way they want to point out their worldview. This isn't new. Like, if you've been on the internet for more than like 5 years, right, and if you're not 12, oh, well, fuck, I was 12 and I understood this, right? If you're not an idiot, you know that that's what people do. But you gotta move that to this side and talk about what's actually fucking happening. You know, that's what thinking critically is. It's like, okay, this guy is a retard. Move him aside. This guy is a retard, saying he hates the Muslims. move them aside, and just point out, okay, legitimate fraud's happening.
Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
You
fraud.
know,
We're asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud. We're talking about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
Are we
is
the
fraud.
only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
Are
fraud.
we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's what, 300 Somali
This is
providers in
fraud.
all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
Don't touch me. Is there
So,
do you speak English?
transportation companies.
Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue,
Listen,
sir.
let me
This
tell
is
you
about
something.
fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
you
sir.
want to sacrifice the safety of
Sir.
80,000 people
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid, you're stupid.
You're
Where's the transportation company?
What about if a mass
Listen.
shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you.
Yeah, and again, people like to calm down, man. Calm down. Like even I don't know who this guy is, but it's like again, people know what's happening. You can't pretend. You can't play make believe. I don't think Nick Shirley gives a fuck about the Somalians. Like this is difficult for people to understand. Like I don't think people can just not give a fuck. Like, rather, this guy exists or not doesn't change a fucking thing. In his mind, what he's pointing out is fraud. Like, I think Mike Pence absolutely cares for these things because he's probably getting money. He's getting a voter's block under the table. Like, and people say voting doesn't matter. It's like, if you're in Mike Pence's position, like, you're getting paid money to do literally nothing, to just moral fag, trust me, you care. Like, you care. Right? And you're going to invest in apparatuses that train people not to care, is the thing.
If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick Shirley.
This is about fraud.
One single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud,
it's
sir.
because of you. Sensationalizes. You son of a bitch. Sensationalizes.
Wow, you're
Get
very
the fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the transportation
Get the fuck out of
company
our
is?
neighborhood.
Yeah.
We don't want you here. Get the fuck
Again, this is the emotional manipulation has happened. Like, they're not even interacting. He's just screaming. He's just purely emotional.
out of here.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is
You
about
want to
fraud.
sensationalize? You wanted clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're
You
sensationalizing
got
yourself.
clicks. You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube?
Tell me where the
You
transportation
wanted
vehicle
YouTube
is.
clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our
vehicle is.
community.
Tell me where the...
You
This
stupid,
is about
racist
fraud.
motherfucker.
This is...
Say I don't want
This
Muslims
is about
here.
fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say
I'm
I
not-
want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
and
want to
wanna
change the
freedom of
Constitution.
religion, and I
And
don't want.
again, this is easy. This is 12-year-old screaming and bitching. Right? Anybody can do this. Hell, if I can do this and get my point across, I will. But it just doesn't work.
Muslim Somalis in Minnesota, kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. Relax. That is what you are
Sir,
arguing for.
we're not talking...
Change the Constitution.
This is about fraud.
Sir, appreciate it.
Get the fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously for this video we had to get security because look at this now.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going.
You have to go from here. I'm telling you.
And you also gotta understand this isn't gonna stop him. Like, man is on a tirade, and he should keep doing it. And again, the more people like this show up, to just purely emotional people who don't actually want to interact, the more he's just gonna keep doing it.
But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No, none.
This isn't about race. This isn't against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not fighting a race.
Well, and this is what happens when you put a spotlight on fraud. The people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Yeah, like they
Because he couldn't
attacked
answer the
him.
question.
And
Where
it
was
makes sense. It makes sense. It's like, oh, some random old dude's coming and fucking with our money, our paycheck. Obviously, they're going to be violent about it.
Transportation company.
He wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make it about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating, and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers and other numbers online, it's fair to say each business is operating with an average of 20 vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip. And with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those 2 locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed with the state of Minnesota. But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to talk to the guy next door, and those were all just mailboxes. And then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just talked to him. Obviously, the cover up, and you see how they all stick together, and it's all this intimidation. And thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, and so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window.
I guarantee you some of them probably don't even function. Right.
And the numbers on the rear, none of these vehicles have moved in 8 months. I've been taking timestamp, date stamp photos. All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago. And look, there's no tire tracks, so they haven't moved.
And this van as well, this is Dreamline. Dreamline was the location where we got chased out from the Somalis on 617 Cedar. And this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store, and now it's here, and the vans haven't moved at all. Literally, no vans and no tire tracks anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles here, no snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of money. Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for. Here's all of the vehicles right here. And the vehicles that are coming in and out, like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building, icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving. And then right here, David has more paperwork for Silver Mountain. And there's 3 different companies in the same address.
Yeah.
So when we talk about how all these companies are intertwined, this is a perfect example of that. And this is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be supported, as the majority of the fraud is from welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, and adult daycares, and healthcare services. They need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening. Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they are moving people from an adult daycare to a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to bill the state for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why.
Again, money that's coming from your taxes. Like, for God, you have to work for a living. And they're like, no, we're going to yeet money from you and give it to these fraudsters. And you're just supposed to accept it.
This fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle because quite literally everyone is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
All right, so this is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is.
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
Where
Is
is
Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay,
You
so
were
Silver Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name,
doing.
the
I don't
name's
give a
not,
shit.
the name's
I
not
don't-
Silver Mountain, it's
Dude,
just
there's
Silver
just-
Mountain
Don't ask
Home
me
Healthcare.
that. When you come.
All right,
So
sir.
Silver
Well,
Mountain-
so
This
Silver,
is not a waste
so
of time.
Silver
It's not a
Mountain does
way
not
to make a
exist.
business.
27,
You're making a
22
business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
600
sir.
people.
27,
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain
I don't
Home
know where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're
But
looking for. All right, we're
me
moving on.
sitting there-
So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home Healthcare?
Again, the LLC is probably just one dude. One fucking dude in that entire build. Like, he probably has an office space that he can register as his business. They probably do send maybe some inspectors out and be like, okay, maybe this one tiny fucking room with a computer is that space, but it's just nothing. It's a ghost company. It just exists to suck money.
In any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services, a daycare right there. All of these welfare companies are in the same location, but their businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How come you think when it comes time to take accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud, they can't answer?
Well, I think
It's simple because they know it's fraud, and they're being told. Again, there's probably pressure on people that work at these businesses now. Like, even before this even started, people were acting suspicious, but now they're acting violent because they know the gravy trains are going to run out if this continues to happen. And they don't want that because they've been probably living very cushy, comfy lives off of this. Again, literally living the American dream while you slave away for $50 hours, getting taxed more and more and more, right? Having less and less money in the pocket to feed your family, all the while they're just getting millions of dollars just for being there. Like, yeah, that's going to piss people off. And again, the emotional manipulation that's happening to where you're not even allowed to point this out that is happening.
their reaction tells you all you need to know. The reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation, but they can't because they know we're shining the light on the fraud and they have no defense. So in their mind, being loud and using profanity is their only defense.
Because I'm trying to give them the opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
And to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some of them don't even exist. We can't even find them. We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're gonna go ask them where their vehicles
Yeah,
are.
you could probably even find my business on the Indiana version of this. I mean, yeah, it's something that is public knowledge. If you're a company, if you're a business, of course the public has every right to know that you exist. Right, and to go to your actual location and be like, hey, what's up?
They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here, other than if they are out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building, however, the owner was not there.
We're here at the suite of Epimonnia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here. And anyone here, it looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonnia Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month at if so.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but no transport.
I've never seen one. I've been here for 3 years, and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here, so I know everybody in the building. And this specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here. They're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
For instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been in 305 for the last 3 years.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records with the government.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, it makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
Again, and this is pretty someone who works here, right? He's someone in the community, like the Minnesota community, that is like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense, and he works in that building.
So since the fraud has started to be exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and that guy just said, he confirmed that there has never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to cut out the transportation side of the fraud?
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we either have to find a family member, drive ourselves, or pay for an Uber. How come they even have this set up?
Yeah, I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they were all full. So now we're at 2833.
Yeah, they say they're full, but none of the vehicles have moved. Again, this is something that, I'm thinking through. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. If you can just register a business, type whatever the fuck out on the form, and just send it in and get paid. Obviously, that's what people are going to do.
13th Avenue South in Minneapolis, and there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advance Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
And
So
we're gonna go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833, boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're gonna see if we can go inside. There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee shop.
And I think money transferring and wiring fraud is also something like, imagine how much money you'll make just off 2, 3, 4% of like $6 million being shoved into and transferred through to these companies every single time. Like, money wiring is probably, like, that'd be the next fraud we should go after, right? Because making money off of, like, payment transfers is a very lucrative thing.
Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224?
I don't think you guys are allowed to record it.
Do you know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so. Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced Mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name is Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility. Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. Yeah. We're looking for Advanced Mobility.
We don't care about advanced mobility.
Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Get the fuck out of Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now
I'm
they're
telling you,
pushing us
get
out of here. Where's advanced mobility at?
We don't care.
Yeah, and again, this is probably people, some of them probably don't care, but they're being strong-armed and being told, don't let this guy in here, and they're just shoving him out.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where advanced mobility is?
No, go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So advanced mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
Again, who do you work for? It doesn't fucking matter. This is it's a public site with public information. Like, what type of stupid fucking question is that? Like, you don't gotta work for someone or be affiliated with someone to figure this shit out.
Nick Shirley, sir.
I don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
This is from the
We
state
don't
of
care. We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location. David, where are we at?
Yeah, now he's in the thick of it, right? Now people know, and I mean, again, I think this is someone who just doesn't get, scared too easily. He's effectively, if Nick Oliveira is like the Elden Lord of pointing out fraud and scams, right? He's like the Tarnished, right? It's the fucking consort or some shit of that. Is like, and more people, again, with the internet, more and more people can point these things out. And you can't use emotional manipulation. You can't use violence to stop that from happening.
What's called Ray's, R-A-Y-Z Transportation, LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. We'll see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. Let's see if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
I don't know. Transportation place. There's no transportation places here.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
all
It's just Ray's.
healthcare places.
R-A-Y-Z.
well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David. So it's confirmed that Ray Transportation, all of these transportation companies, they're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist.
Yeah, they exist just to suck money.
In person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
And what's your message to Tim Walls?
Make a change, because there's definitely, even when it comes down to like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like we need spaces for the things that are going on that they're not doing. We need these type of spaces for it. Now this is some crazy stuff, but I'm glad that you bringing light to it. It is a crazy, interesting situation.
Right, and again, this is someone who's just works for a living. Well, I think you're about to have a confrontation. This is someone who works for a living that sees these things happening, but he's probably just someone that's like, yeah, I have wife, kids to fucking feed, and things like this happening. It's like, yeah, I don't want this to happen, and he's putting his voice out there.
What you got going on, man? Hey. You keep that false narrative that you be going on. It's a nonsense.
You should get in your car because
you should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair.
Yeah,
you cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job.
Well,
That's why they're there, because it's not doing its fucking job. Because there is no checks in this. And now people are demanding it. People are like, no, give us the checks, like investigate these things, right? Like Nick Shirley, I don't think he wants to be doing this, right? He doesn't want to put himself into harm's way. Yeah, he makes money off this now, because if he would have did this 4 years ago, he would have just gotten banned, right? He doesn't want to fucking do that.
We got a governor, we got a attorney general.
And props for this guy. Like, he sees this happening. He's like, this guy, homie better not start swinging at me.
Let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If
you do not have, again, oh my God, oh God, I'm starting to think people are just fucking stupid. You literally don't have to point out things like this. It's that way for a reason. There is an intent behind you, an American citizen who works for a living, your taxes being taken from your fucking wallet and given to these things, and you can look for this information. You don't have to be an organization. You don't have to be, in any high position. Like, literally, just some fucking dude can point these things out, and some fucking dude is, and people are like, yeah, okay, if what he says is true. And again, based off how everyone's acting, yes, like, I believe this is happening, and I believe there's an apparatus to keep this.
You want to run for office? Go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is information.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
you're
of Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here.
You can't. It's Southside. It's my turf. Get it.
Sir, so we were just having a civil conversation. That guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
In the middle of the road about the fraud that's happening. And he's saying that I'm the bad guy for showing light of what's happening here.
They're passionate. They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna it's a very tight-knit community.
You saw it firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection. So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We don't have no ill feelings towards you by any means. We're talking about the fraud that's happening. So God bless you, sir, and thank you very much. Why are we doing this?
So we're doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, again, it's like the whole I have black friends argument. It's like, okay, I'm running off your logic. You, the virulent anti-racist. Do you think people who are racist would have black friends? Like, again, off your logic. The logic that, white people are just, they're just closet racists. They're just waiting for that thing to happen for them to turn Super Saiyan racist. It's like, off your logic, would someone who's racist have black friends and interact with people, right? And okay, let's say yes, right? Because I agree, people just try to get the fuck along, even if you don't really care for them. It's like in a society, people tend to just get the fuck along. Grown-ass adults tend to just go about their way and make their fucking money and provide for their family. But they don't use that logic. It's purely emotion. It's purely black and white. Like, there's objective good, objective evil. And again, this is the emotional manipulation being done to have this happen.
The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud. And when we try and talk with these people and say, look, the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue, it's a fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the suburbs, and we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies, that's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park. And so let's see if this one actually exists.
This is the location of Crescent Transportation. We have no vans outside right now. Does not look like any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation exists. Here we are, and it's an apartment complex. There's no signage of any Crescent Transportation Company. Once again, another fraudulent business where they don't even have a storefront to show where they're at. This is an apartment complex. So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out here?
Nope.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
Huh? I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Huh? Prosecute their ass. Take them to jail.
And how do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here?
Nah, just let them go. Like, do we want to spend more money shoving them through the fucking system? You know, oh, we gotta feed them. No, just take everything they own and send them the fuck back. If you are actively frauding the state, and if you're benefiting and taking the money from these fraudulent acts, take everything they own, right, and just send them the fuck back. Like, I don't want to spend any more money on these. Get them out of here.
Transportation company that receives money from the government is not even here. It's the apartment complex.
I just said I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money. People out here fraud, they should go to jail.
And should Tim Walz go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh? All them cricket, all the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked none of them.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments. They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
Because even if you were to be running a transportation company out of your apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they? There aren't any. Crescent, I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
More fraud taking place here.
So this is called...
And again, I'm trying to run down the logic here, not to defend it. It's like, okay, you probably have the office, the LLC there, and they're like what happened with that Dream, whatever the fuck. They had the office in one place, the actual vehicles in another, and they're probably registered for that building. You know, just, okay, there's some degrees, but it's like, obviously it's fraud from what we've seen. And usually you'd expect the company to exist where the vehicles are, because it'd be just better. But again, if you just have one dude with one office, you know, with one computer, and he's typing out the information, I mean, again, to the average person, the average, like, lawmaker, secretary, they're like, yeah, sure, it's fine.
Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children, so this should be a really big facility. And this year alone, they have received $2.25 million from the state of Minnesota, and last year they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility, in the past 5 years, has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in and out.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked.
It's locked, yeah.
Midday right now. This is the back side of the daycare. Ringing the doorbell right now. See if anybody comes. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out.
Okay, listen.
Get out. This is our business.
Hear each other, okay?
What are you looking for?
We don't care what you do on the
We're-
parking lot.
Go this side. Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll call the
This
cops.
private.
I can be here in the parking lot.
No. You don't be here.
Wait,
What are
can
you
we
looking
ask
for?
you about the daycare? It's all right.
you looking
It's all
for?
right. Can we ask you about the
We
daycare?
don't care about anything
No.
you say. You
I don't care, Ken.
Sir, I'm not racist.
You have to live here.
I'm asking
No.
you.
You don't ask me nothing, man.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Get out.
This is our business.
Get out, hey. Get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. We just want to
Get out.
We just want to ask you about $2.25 million.
Get out.
You say,
Get out.
out of here, man.
Get out.
He's
Get
like,
out.
You cannot do that.
Get out. No, you cannot. You cannot do that.
Where?
Get out.
This is.
Get out, man. No. Get lost. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our property. Get out.
Why?
Get out.
Can I ask you about the daycare? I have the paperwork right here.
No. Get out.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a
I'm telling
daycare?
you, get out. Get
Can
out.
you answer the question?
Get out. No, I don't ask you any question. You guys, get out.
You can't answer the
Get
question.
out. No. Who are you?
My name's Nick
Who are you?
Shirley.
No, I don't give a shit. Get out.
Can you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
No. $1 million. Don't worry about it. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed.
You know, some of these videos, you don't even see the cops at all. Like in anywhere around here, like you'd expect there to be some police, like at least one police personnel in these videos, but they're nowhere to be seen in this community, like at all. It's very weird how that is.
For 118
Get out.
children,
Get out.
but I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out. Get out. Guys, get out. No, you're not asking me nothing, man.
I'm
Get
just
out.
asking you about what we're seeing here.
No, get out. Get out our business. Get out.
Sir,
this is my property.
You have millions of
Get
people
out.
watching right now. Can you say what's the need for $2.25 million? And where are the 118 children?
Get out.
Sir, I'm just asking you a simple question.
Get out. No, you don't ask me any question. Get out.
You have the opportunity
Get
to
out.
answer
No.
the question.
No. You can't ask me nothing. Get out. Get out our business, man. Get out. Get out, motherfucker. Get out.
Sir,
Get out.
just answer the question.
No.
Just answer
Get
the
out.
question.
No, get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You YouTube, man. Get out.
All right, code word has been given. We're out. All right, we gotta get out of here.
Get out.
Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We gave them so many opportunities. We gave them plenty of opportunities. Just answer some simple questions. Millions of people are watching right now.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children, no footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there with 2 feet of snow on them. They haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Yeah.
It's the same thing at all these daycares. 4 men came out, yet they couldn't answer the simple question. We had it right here. 118 children. $2.25 million this year.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Now this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this this child care center is called Proud Child Care Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes right in this neighborhood, and this child care got $1.25 million in funding in fiscal year 2025. It got $1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children. And all of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to somebody. Could I enroll my son Joey into daycare here? Well, do you have the paperwork where I could enroll a child? Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. I was wondering if I could enroll a child. I have a son named Joey. My name's Nick Shirley. Yeah, I'm just coming out and seeing if I could enroll my child, Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why this daycare needs $1.26 million, and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child, Joey. No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare? Just to show that you guys are a legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I hope this place actually is holding 47 children because you guys are receiving $1.26 million in this year alone. So have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll a child. Could have debunked all their claims. They can't even do it. One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Leering Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million.
God, bro, the burp.
It's licensed for over 99 children. Instead of Quality Learning, it says Quality Leering Outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Leering Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare, but at the same time, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
This is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received 1.9 million, and in fiscal year 2024, they had received about 2.2 million, so about 4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Leering Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
Oh, she said a week ago.
And now magically it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have everybody?
Okay, this is the owner right here.
They can record it. We just need to get off the property.
Okay. Oh, they changed it. Oh shit, nigga, they changed it. Go, no, I gotta see.
Okay,
see, I can barely even fucking see it now. Like, from a distance, you can barely fucking see that. Of course they changed.
This is the owner right here.
They can record it. We just need to get off the property.
So you guys can record. So how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother. And you can smile, but bro.
Sir, I'm right here.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that.
You can't defend the fraud.
Come on, at the daycare, do it. Hey, not at the daycare, doing the middle finger, though.
We have like 100 cameras on it. Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside of Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this
again, clearly, it's inter-party corruption. Like, this doesn't require any level of, like red tape connecting conspiracy. Obviously, it's something that's happening to the people
right here
around
seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant, and she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Leering Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events. What's your message, people, about the fraud here in Minnesota?
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks. So let me say this on camera. If you can prove that any of the information...
see, there is one police car, and he's just fucked off.
...that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash.
Okay.
If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way. Anybody want to take me up? And if you can't prove it, you have to give me $100.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
See, they all went silent. Silent.
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent. What do you think about the fraud here?
Hey, the fraud here in Minnesota, I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. Like, what do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about this daycare, for instance, receiving $1.9 million? And they couldn't even spell learning right. They spelled leering.
Hey, man, Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot. But, I mean, Tim Walz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. So.
Should Tim Walz be prosecuted?
Hell yeah.
And at this point, you're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent.
Yeah, that's probably being sent back to Somalia because, like, to have a bank account that's just receiving millions of dollars out of the blue, that's suspicious. Like, if I was to just receive $6 million tomorrow, I would be shitting my pants. I'd be like, where the fuck did this money come from? Like, what the hell? Like, I'd be afraid. It's like, okay, is this, like, fraudulent money that's just been given to me? You know, because now it's a legal issue at that point. And that's very, very suspicious that, again, just some bank out of nowhere. Sorry, I'm trying to get something. Just out of nowhere just receives millions of dollars. They're very sus.
TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA.
And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch saying like 2 male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with 2.2 million and another guy with 3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to...
Yeah, and I believe this. Again, this right here is the expert, right? It's not the politician. It's not anyone in a lab coat or an economist. Like, this is just someone who's worked the job for 30 years and retired. Like, this is the person you'd ask to work in these positions and the phone calls he would get to ask for things about like these. And I think he's coming out his own volition. So again, imagine pissing people off to where they're literally rolling up and being like, yeah, I can tell you that this has happened and this is this and this, right?
One individual, we were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the...
Yeah, and again, this is something completely, like, this is like a completely different instance of something happening that they couldn't do anything about. And you can see how these two instances, like what Nick Shirley is doing and what this guy's talking about, is now linked. Like, it's not straight up telling you, but you can be like, okay, so what are you doing with billions of dollars? Like, because you're not just throwing that in the bank and sitting it there. Obviously, it's money going back to either the country or to other places.
World are they getting this money? And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time, okay, maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We
Like
were
thousands.
all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through these airports.
I saw one time. I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years, you're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying, two people flying out with $1 to $2 to $3 to $4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So this is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai, and then apparently what I had heard was it was too dangerous to go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a whole bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So all the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
And then this right here is wiretaxed to hell, right? And again, we can use COVID for the 90 millionth time. Like, well, when do you think that idea will go away, or in that excuse? Like, we're seeing money, our taxpayer money, just being given to these countries. And again, people using emotional manipulative tactics to keep us from even pointing out that that's what's happening. And people are still in denial. Not only are people in denial, right? Because that's what it is. It's just denial. Like, the average individual will be like, okay, I can kind of see something like this happening. We might not really understand the extent. But, yeah, it's something that would make sense to me. No. What you see is just flat out denial, right, of the situation. And you are attacked for pointing these things out.
Yes. It appears that's how it all went down, yes.
Facts. And obviously the politicians are taking it off the cut. Again, this is how this scam goes. Right, and this is happening, again, without your knowledge or consent. You don't even know this is happening. It just is. Hey, everyone, I hope you're leering a lot. As I expose it from Minnesota, we ended Tim Walt. Yeah, literally some random white dude ended a politician's fraudulent career. Starting to feel dumb for going to work every day. Yep. And you should. Right? Thanks for that. Being a Muslim in America doesn't give you the right to steal taxpayer money. And again, this is also just a layer of defense. It's like, oh, you're against Muslims, oh, you're against this, that, and the other. It's just the same type of emotional fucking argument. David needed an award from Trump for exposing this crap. There should be monetary incentive for everyday people. Well, I shouldn't say that, right? Because you have the predator catchers, and it's like a fucking one predator every fucking day, and it's like, You're telling me these motherfuckers are like coming off the assembly line? Like, maybe monetary incentive isn't the right word, but there needs to be something in these. Oh boy, I can't wait for mainstream media to defend fraud again. Yeah, it's odd that they're not talking about this at all, and I'm pretty sure they know this is happening. Like, I'm pretty sure they have information. Tim Walz needs to be jailed. Nah, I'd even say this with Tim Walz. Take everything, all his money, and just give it to the people of Minnesota. The Pirate of Minnesota. See, the Pirates of Minnesota season 1, episode 2. Facts! Where David needs way, way, way more credit. That man has done all the footwork for this. On God. They can make all that noise, but that doesn't change the facts. Yeah, and again, that's the only tactic they have. Needing not one single business is legit. Waltz for prison. Hey, next time they ask, what do you work for? Tell them the American taxpayers. Yeah, you're doing more for the American taxpayer than any of the politicians or the screaming liberal white women going against you that utilizes their suicidal empathy against you, because you're definitely working for all of us and doing it for free. Well, he makes money off of YouTube, but I mean, he has an audience of people that want to figure this shit out and want to see this shit. Their hostile and aggressive response speaks volumes about their guilt. Yep. I mean, to be fair, probably some of them, I mean, well, again, there's maybe some layers of them not being accountable. They just work there and told, like, if this guy shows up, get him the fuck out, he's an agitator. But guilty by association is a thing. Billions of funds stolen from vets, legitimate homeless, starving children living on the streets, or an American person needs help. Any American person needing help. Not these thieves who don't care if we live or die. Yeah. Dave and Nick are actually doing the job of journalists and law enforcers should be doing. On God, they are. And hey, that's all I gotta say about this. It's getting late. I got pissed. Peace.